Good morning. It is that strange day that is a weekday, and it isn't Christmas, and it isn't New Year, and it isn't 2015. It's the 30th of December 2014. It's a nothing day, really, or a free day if you choose to be more positive about it.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlogmas.
That's better. I feel slightly more alive now. I was watching my vlog from this time last year, and I noticed at the end of it, I talked about the European elections and not voting UKIP. And clearly you didn't listen, or you did listen and there's only 125 of you, which doesn't make much difference, which is somewhat of a problem. But I thought I'd just address the sort of ongoing issue as I see it, which is this kind of movement against equality. The voices that are complaining the hardest are the people, I suppose, who you might say have the most to lose, i.e. those that have been in a position of power for a long time and dislike the idea that equality means less power for them because they've had a bias for quite a long time towards them. And it's no longer acceptable. It's no longer socially acceptable. And the majority of the population will agree with you there. Because you have to accept that we're not running a sort of medieval kingdom anymore. It's not one man says and everybody else does. There has to be some sort of representation of the country as it is. Not the country as you remember it from 1952, not the country as you wish it were, i.e. looking still like 1952. You'd have to accept the fact that things have moved on and you're just going to have to surrender some of your ill-gotten gains, let's call it. Maybe it's not ill-gotten, maybe it was just the system at the time, but it's certainly unrepresentative and not acceptable in the 21st century. So if anyone else gives me this kind of nonsensical rhetoric about, oh, why can't we do the Today programme with all white presenters? Because that usually happens anyway. That's the whole point. It's currently unrepresentative. What people are trying to do is make it more representative. The idea of equality is that all voices are heard, even including angry old white men, but that all of the other voices are heard as well, because that's not what's happening at the moment. And it's the same when it comes to the idea of gay marriage. Everybody should be able to get married, even humanists, God forbid. That's still something that's being worked on. It should be an equal society. One part of society should not be able to dictate their will on everybody else. Now, if you don't like the fact that the Today programme is presented by an entirely non-white lineup, or that gay people are getting married, my advice to you is ignore it. It's not trying to shout at you. It's just trying to talk to the people that up till now have been underrepresented. It's not something that you have to ingest if you don't wish to. You don't have to attend a gay wedding. You don't have to get gay married if you're not gay. And you don't have to listen to the Today programme if you decide that you don't like the message that it's putting across. Be that equality, be that economics, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not compulsory. And so you just have to let these things go and be the bigger man or woman. There's the other issue. This gender divide is quite bad at the moment. Women are paid less than men, represented less than men, and the anti-equality movement seems to suggest that there is a good reason why that's always happened, ignoring the fact that women make up at least 50% of most societies, except in China, where the one-child policy has kind of allowed state-controlled gender inequality. But apart from that, everywhere else. I promise I'm not going to go on about this again, but if I see any more of this nonsense about, well, why shouldn't I be allowed to express my views, and then a list of views that have been expressed for the last 100 years and more, then I am going to lose it. So if you feel that somehow you are being discriminated against because people who are previously unheard are now heard, I think you're missing the point slightly. On a slightly more positive note, about a week ago we had the Great Kimchi Hunt, which is basically me wandering around trying to find kimchi and then moaning about the inability to find it because it was a veggie day. Today is also a veggie day. I'm going to try and find kimchi. If I don't find it, I promise I won't complain. I'll just suck it up and have a cheese sandwich. Look what I have in my pocket. Yeah, it's very exciting to me at least. I got loads back in stock. I only had enough cash on me to buy 2 tins. Should have bought like 100. I know you can make it yourself. Yes. Have I got the time and inclination? No. For £1.50 I'm prepared to buy a tin. Yes. So, kimchi fried rice. I'm not excited though. Just nothing. Well, I would say that apart from slicing my vlogging hand open on the kimchi tin, it's going very well. That is some kimchi and some onions. Frying on a high heat, crisp them up a bit before we add the rice, and then chuck a fried egg on top. It's as simple as that. Ta-da! Masterpiece. It is, really. As I mentioned yesterday, one of my Christmas presents from Crystal was a little drone. It's a micro drone, if you will. There he is. Just to give you some scale, that's my hand. There you go. So it's very small, which is what I wanted, because when you're going to learn to fly these things, you're better off not starting with something that's so big you're going to kill people. And no, I will not be showing you me flying it around until I've got it in some semblance of mastery. That way I won't be, you know, killing birds or flying into Heathrow's airspace. It strikes me that YouTube is absolutely littered with people who don't know how to fly drones, crashing them and making a general nuisance of themselves. So in this particular instance, I will be learning as I go, mainly indoors and away from small creatures and humans and planes before I show you anything. It does have a very small HD camera on there, so which is what I'm trying to learn is drone videography. So this is the very first step. I don't expect to be getting very far in the next few weeks or so, so bear with me. When I'm confident that I can show you something that isn't complete crap, I will do. Second soup in 2 weeks. Here we have some creamy mushroom soup made with 400 grams of mushrooms and some onions and celery and some parsley and some cream, obviously. Looks really good. Just done a bit of drone practice before going to bed. That's what you do. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. It's the very last day of the year. And then I can do my best of 2014 video, which should be out by the weekend, hopefully. So I hope you look out for that. Thank you very much for enduring, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I think it's there. Maybe it's there. Anyway, tell me. And yes, I will see you tomorrow for the last day of 2014. Good night.
Toby, stupid frog.